In this next tutorial, we're going to work with the relative coding to get the light bulb to work. Now let's go inside of that movie clip now, and I do want to point out actually before I go too far that I do not have an instance name on this particular main movie clip, nor do I have an instance name on the controls movie clip, because I don't really need them. I do have instance names on the buttons, however, because that's where we need to put our code in order to make these buttons work. So let's go to the actions layer on the controls movie clip for the relative coding, and let's go ahead and go to our code. You'll notice that it still has our pinned script from the absolute targeting, but that's a good idea because I'm going to copy that code just to help me have a good working function event listener pair. I'm going to close that script, and now it should show me the script for the current selection, which is the actions layer in this new movie clip. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that, and I'm going to just change this really quick. Instead of go to and play on, I'm going to actually replace this with that trace thing. So what we could do is go ahead and put a little comment there, just comment out that line, and we'll trace it works kind of like we did before. There we go. Trace it works. And now what we're going to deal with is changing this event listener so that we have, instead of absolute targeting, we have relative targeting. So if I take a look at this and I go back to the Insert Target Path tool, you'll notice right now that I have these parentheses around light 2 group and then some of the other objects, the on-off group 2, and those parentheses tell me that I do not have an instance name. If I try and click on it, it says instance names are required to use this object as a target. Well, I'm not really going to use the Insert Target Path tool, because let's just say that we want to look at the first one, light_MC. If I look right now, when I click on relative, it says this.light1_MC. But if you look at where we are right now, we're inside of a movie clip, which is in a completely different timeline than the main timeline. So if I use the keyword this, it will not be pointing to the main timeline, it'll be pointing to the timeline that I'm currently on. So when you use the Insert Target Path tool, this is always really referring to the main timeline. It's not referring to the timeline that you're on. So it means that you can only use the Insert Target Path tool for relative coding, for relative targeting, when you are on the main timeline, and that's it. Otherwise, you can't use it. So I'm not going to use this at all. But I do know that I have a light on button. And I know that I'm on a timeline, so I'm just going to remove all the stuff except for the light on button and just put this dot light on _btn. And what this does is this targets the current movie clip that I'm on and the light_btn that's inside of it. Of course, we don't need this, it's just a good idea to put it as well. It's a nice relative keyword. So let's go ahead and see if that does indeed work. And it does indeed when I click on it. So that's good. We know that we are now targeting that particular movie clip. So I can comment out the trace it works and uncomment this targeting thing. And let's take a look at what we've got here. Right now we have absolute targeting that goes inside this light1_MC and finds the light movie clip. Well, what we're going to do is replace the root and light1_MC with some new targets. We're going to first start off with this dot, because this is referring to the timeline that we're on. Now if we take a look at the way that our timelines are nested, this refers to the on-off group that we're currently in, that timeline. Now what I want to do is go back a timeline, and so to go back I use parent dot, and then it will find the light_MC that's inside that parent timeline and go to and play on. So let's try it out. And you'll see it does indeed work. Now, where does we really see the power of absolute and relative coding? When we do something like this. If I nest these two inside of an, and I'll have to do that in the next tutorial. So save your work and go on.